gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my prop.
Yeah, Dr. Cosmo Kramer, proctology.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here to talk about an issue that is urgent. But first I want to thank you for allowing me into your homes this evening. This issue is about something that is cool. Dare I say rad. However, we are facing a problem. This cool rad thing is becoming increasingly rare, a finite resource. CRT TVs, tube TVs, whatever you want to call these things, they're undeniably pretty cool. A lot of the collectors who watch my videos get it. Of course, to some people they are just junk. I go to one of these young people's houses and they don't even have one. I can't find one anywhere. I mean, I have 9 of them. Dear God, what have I become? Like vinyl, CRT TVs went through a period of nobody caring about them. I mean, you could find them for free all day long. You could trip over them in an alleyway. I mean, people are just giving these things away. However, unfortunately, we do not live in that reality anymore. Since the 2010s, CRT TVs have become more desirable. Now, I'm sure there's a few scallywag teenagers out there who have stumbled across this video. I wouldn't expect you teenagers to understand. I mean, you're too busy being programmers, you know. All you care about is 4K, 60 FPS, and injecting the devil's lettuce. I don't expect you to understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take a quick break to deliver the following message. Maybe you think CRT TVs are old and primitive. But, fuck you, you're the primitive one. You troglodyte.
Now before you go on assuming that CRTs are just obsolete pieces of technology, I want you to know, there are certain things that CRT TVs do better than flat screens. There are things I would only use a CRT for over flat screens. I mean, for example, people who like old tech, like, that's what it's big at. It's big with people who like old tech. People who collect games. People who collect VHS, Laserdisc. I mean, pretty much anything that involves an image on a screen. I mean, old consoles, they look better on CRT TVs. You hook up a Nest to a flat screen and you will puke. I mean, a flat screen can't... You see, here's what it is. I know it's kind of confusing. A flat screen cannot understand the old signal very well. So the game, when it goes on the TV's confused by the old signal, and it gets all fucked up and wonky. Now this pretty much explains the primary reasons for just the general love of CRT TVs. And by the way, you see people who have multiple CRTs, there's a reason behind this actually. Because believe it or not, it's not just limited to new TVs versus old TVs. Certain old, like, Pong consoles and weird old tech, like the first console ever made, the Magnavox Odyssey 1, you didn't know that, teenager, they don't look on every CRT TV, unfortunately. So you gotta get a few on deck, you know. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared to bask in the glory of wood grain retro goodness. But you can't do it on every TV, unfortunately. But that's good. You get more CRT TVs, and guess what? More retro goodness. I'm talking 70s wood grain, 80s robots, and 90 fucking gray hoopla pogs. I don't fucking know. All I'm trying to tell you is multiple CRTs, there's a reason behind it. We aren't hoodles. Put down the phone. Don't call TLC. Another cool thing about CRT TVs is an aesthetic thing. They look cool and they fit certain things really well. I mean, look at this Halloween setup I had going last year. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. The reason I wanted to make this video, the reason why I felt the need to make this video, the desire, the push to get in front of this camera and make this video today, there's a reason, believe it or not. I ain't just bloviating. The reason I wanted to do this is I've been noticing a trend recently. Not a good trend either. I feel like nobody fucking sees it but me. Nobody sees this trend. It's alarming. And I need to let you know. Look, because I know a lot of game collectors follow me. These old TVs in 5 to 10 years are going to be expensive and very hard to find, in my opinion. Already, for the first time in my life, I see people charging for them on Facebook. You used to not be able to give these things away. I mean, and not only are they being sold on Facebook, the general public's aware. They are being marketed and advertised in the description for retro gamers, for game collectors. It's in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, The public is now aware of you, and you will pay for that. Do you understand? It's fine though, because they aren't crazy expensive yet. However, heed my warning. They will be fucking expensive. Heed my fucking warning. Your wallet shall weep. I worked at a value village. I have first-hand experience. I was on the front lines of this. I seen it happen with my own 2 eyes. I was in the department that dealt with TVs, actually. I was literally right fucking there. I was the guy who was there, touching the TVs, pricing them, making the decisions. And you know what I saw? It ain't pretty. You're not gonna want to hear it. I'm sorry, look. I'll tell you. We couldn't put them out. They just didn't sell well. They took a room on the sales floor. They don't sell. People don't want them. We rarely put them out. I'm sorry. Look, I'm gonna have to admit something, and you're not gonna want to hear it. My time as a Value Village employee carries many positive memories and regrets. Well, unfortunately, as a Value Village employee, I was an employee, so I had to follow certain rules. Plus, there was nothing I could really do to stop reality. Because again, the reality is, CRT TVs weren't selling well. People like me love them. People like you watching might love them. Not everyone loves them, though. I mean, these fucking people, am I right? Who wouldn't want a CRT TV? Well, unfortunately, a lot of people didn't. So yeah, we recycled them, and yeah, I had to cut the wires on tube TV, so I killed a lot of CRT TVs. I'm guilty of CRT TV war crimes, so I'll be at the Nuremberg trial shortly for killing a lot of tube TVs. To add a general summary, if there's really anything I want to convey with this video, it's that now is the time to get a CRT if you need one. Now is the time. The time was actually 2 years ago maybe, but you know what? Now it's the time too. It's the best time was years ago. The second best time is now, as the old saying goes. Listen, I understand they take up a lot of room. We all don't have a lot of space in this housing, whatever, economy. Too much. The wall is too constricted. Get a small one. I have a small CRT TV. You can carry it around. I know the big ones are scary. If they fall, they crush a village. They set off an atomic bomb. They send the raiders fucking spitting. That doesn't have to happen. You can get a small one. And I'd recommend you grab 2 CRT TVs, maybe 3. If you have a basement, you gotta throw some in there. You got room. You know, and it might be good to keep. Like, listen, if you plan on sticking to like being a retro person, digging down the channels of retroness, game collectors, retro people, VHS collectors. If you plan on basking in vintage mentality, not a real word, for decades to come, you better keep the CRTs on deck. You're gonna need them, because one breaks down, you might be fucked. Keep a few of them on hand. I know they're well built, luckily. They will last a long time. But the time is changing. The buying time for CRTs is changing. So don't make the mistake, and hopefully I convinced someone. Hopefully I at least made the general public aware a bit. CRT TVs are cool, they're rad, they're fucking awesome. And we hit peak CRT resource. Like peak oil, but for CRTs. We hit the peak. They're depleting.